How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a little bit of free will hopeful goodness in the form of the Standing Here Dreaming Dry Hop Saison aged barrels with apricots or apricots, whatever you want to say. This is a 2018 edition. They're 6.8% alcohol by volume. Free will. I've had quite a few of their beers. It's been a while though since I've did one of their reviews. I did their pomegranate, their version of a lambic, and it was fucking awesome. I think that was the last time I did a free will beer. And with me moving to Jersey, you can find their stuff. They're actually not that far away from me. They have two spots. They have one out where their main area is that Percy. I think I'm screwing that up, but it's kind of like, you know, cut by Quakertown area. But then they have another satellite location that's close to New Hope, New Hope, and it's not too far away from me. But I never get out there. But I went to a local distributor and I saw this on the shelf and I was like, man, it's pretty fucking labeled. It's a pretty fucking bottle. You know, okay, dry hop Saison on board. Barrels, sure. Apricots. Oh, man, putting apricot in nice Saison is kind of like, you know, look at me, I'm rubbing, I'm flicking that label. It is kind of where I like, one of my more favorite fruits when it comes to putting in like kind of these funky tart, whatever you want to call it, beers. We'll find out what it is when we actually crack into it. What else does it say on here? On the back, we have story time. It says Standing Here Dreaming. It's dry hop Saison ale aged in barrels with apricots. Barrel aged Saison with Brettanomyces. Yeah. Apricots dried hopped with Amarillo. Aromas of Heineken and pear blossoms give way to flavors of stone fruit, bubblegum, tree papaya, and with the underlying earthy character and refreshing finish. Earthy wood, I should have said. That'd be that. That's a pretty bottle, man. That's just a really, really, really pretty bottle. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I picked it up. It was kind of, I don't want to say it was pricey, but I think it was like 17 bucks. But man, free will. You're doing it right. You're just missing the cork. You don't have to have cork, but, you know, kind of like it. In these big green bottles, the cork kind of makes it feel even more something or other. So yeah, let's give this a pour, see what she's got. Kind of excited to dive into it. Like I said, it's been a while since I've had a free will beer. One of my good buddies, CJ, he was a head brewer at Wallenpaupack Brewing. I've done a bunch of their beers. He actually left Wallenpaupack Brewing, and now he is a brewer at Free Will. So he had no part in this beer, considering it's satin wood and had all kinds of stuff going on. So he just got there. But yeah, I can't wait to visit. Gotta say what's up. So anyway, what do we have going on here? You know, it looks like Saison. You know, soft carbonation, not too crazy. A little bit of soft haziness to it too. A rocky finger and a half of just barely off weight head. I mean, it's classic. It's textbook. It's exactly what a Saison should look like. So yeah, we're off to a good start here. Let's get a nose on this sucker. Oh yeah, baby. That'd be the good stuff. Oh man, that's nice. That's beautiful. There's so many levels here. They're talking about that kind of fruit portion of the show. It's more a yeast-derived thing, a wild yeast thing. It's not a sour beer. It's Saison. It has this peppery spiciness to it, a little bit of like nutmeg, a little bit of kind of cardamom. There's all these kind of soft, like chalky spices. You know, obviously I don't taste that in there, but that's what it smells like. It smells like it has this kind of soft powderiness to it. In that fruit portion of the show, which I was starting to explain and kind of went off on a tangent about spices, it's this fleshy fruitiness, which I typically get from a lot of wild beers. Very reminiscent of a lot of the noses that I've gotten in the past from like dry log or strange roots beers. Yeah, there's this nice soft peppery spiciness to it. There is a little bit of soft, very soft vanilla in there. You assume that's coming from the oak. You get those nice, rich kind of baking like spices in there, and your kind of coriander kind of vibe, your peppery kind of vibe going on with those spices. The fruit isn't over the top. It's more kind of yeast estery as opposed to being added fruit kind of notes. But man, she smells very Belgian. It's I think actually one of the brewers that from Free Will left to go. I could be wrong on this, but I read it somewhere. I don't know where, but left to go work for Cantillon, and that's why CJ actually ended up working there. So, I know they love Cantillon and Free Will. Why do I know that? I haven't really spoken to them. I never sat down or even talked to a brewer or owner or anything like that. But I've been to Free Will 4 times, and every single time I've gone there, I've seen several people, workers and people that visit there, wearing Cantillon shirts. Now, sure, beer nerds, we love our Cantillons. We love those loons. We love to walk around and wear their shit. But I've gone on like off days when it's not busy and it's just random people showing up. So obviously there's a big pull to that brewery, and it kind of has those kind of soft Belgian-esque kind of Saison, Sen Valley kind of Saison-y vibes. We're diving in. Cheers. Wow, that's a great beer. That's a fantastic beer. Yeah. That is really good. I'm getting a huge Venice character off of it. Really huge white wine grape. They talk about aging this in wood. I'm pretty sure if they aged it in a wine barrel, they would say it. But I'm having a hard time believing this hasn't been aged in something that got splashed with some nice white wine grape. Now, that could be that apricot kind of coming through. Certainly could be that. The way it kind of plays is a little bit more Venice than kind of stone fruitiness. But it's playing that way for me, and it's beautiful. The wood has a nice dryness to it, a nice softness to it, while at the same time it has that kind of slightly kind of roasted French oakiness to it. Like, it's not a toasted kind of barrel, but French oak always has a slightly nutty, above nutty, slightly subtly toasted kind of character to it with a little bit of vanilla, and you're definitely getting that in there too. Heaping helpings of all those spices in there. All that rich kind of coriander and soft white pepper abounds, and there's a really nice pop of sweetness from that grain bill. It tastes so much like a wine barrel aged beer. It's ridiculous. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. This is gorgeous. This is pretty. This is all those kind of adjectives that you want to throw at a lot of these delicate, fine, beautiful, kind of Belgian-born, soft Saison. And this kind of encompasses all that and gets it right in so many ways. It's not a surprise, Free Will, like I said, a couple of their sour beers that I have had while at the brewery, and especially a couple of the shelfy lambics that they call them lambics, so that's why I'm calling it that, have really done me really proper. So when I bought this, I was kind of like, man, this has got to be good, and I had really high hopes for it, and I'm going to tell you right now, it kind of exceeded it, to be perfectly honest with you. This is a beautiful beer. This is absolutely fantastic. 100% delicious, multi-layered, multifaceted, multi-level Saison. Because there's so much more than just Saison there. But the beautiful part of it is still Saison. A lot of people throw fruit and spices and all kinds of barrels at all kinds of beers nowadays. It's almost like who can scream the loudest, who can be as bang against the walls and be as neon color to the max, screaming for everybody to pay attention. And everybody takes all those flavors, those fruits and those spices and those barrels, and they drain them to every square inch of their lives to put every part of what they are into the beer. Whereas this beer, I think it's just as loud as that beer, but it does it in such a calm and quiet way. It's impactful. It's kind of like, you see those old classic, like, mob movies. Goodfellas, for example, everybody's watched that. In the beginning, everybody's kind of hanging outside of one of the opening scenes. Is everybody's hanging outside of the deli, this one deli, and it's all the classic mobster guys that you see in every show, from The Sopranos to Casino, kind of yipping and yapping it up and making jokes, cracking jokes, doing this, doing that, and out walks the boss, and he doesn't even say anything. Everybody shuts the fuck up, but the dude's not yelling and screaming. You know what I mean? He just kind of walks out and kind of looks around, kind of nods his head, takes a pull off his cigar, and just kind of saunters for a bit and turns around. It's that. It's that kind of volume. You don't have to scream at the top of your lungs in order to be really, really impactful. And that's kind of where this beer lands. The flavors are beautiful. They're gigantic, while at the same time very soft and reserved. And they're one too. That's the other part that I haven't really even touched on yet. Is that a lot of times people impart a lot of these flavors, and they're quite nice, but they taste like individualistic, like they're singular. This is all very cohesive. Just the way that fruit plays to give me those kind of vinous notes, to kind of where it goes in and out of the beer with the barrel, and the way the kind of yeast kind of plays. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful beer. I like it. Did you get that? Did you get that part yet? So yeah, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better Saison that I've had as of late? This is a yes. It's up there, close to the top, if not the top. I mean, I've had quite a bit this year, and this is one of the best. Value and availability, 16, 17 bucks for $7.50. No problem whatsoever buying this beer. At first, I was like, a couple, actually, in a perfect world, this would be like 12 bucks in my brain when I bought it. And no, I'm glad this is sub 20. I'm glad this is sub 30. Let's put it that way. Absolutely fantastic beer. And I picked it up off a shelf at a distributor, just sitting there with 19 other bottles, just shelf-turning it up. And leave you with, if you like what, will you like this? If you like good beer. If you like it, you have to, let's preface that you have to like beers outside of hops, and just stouts. This is good beer. So let's put it this way. If you're just getting into beer, and you don't know everything, even though you act like it, try this. And if you don't like it, and this sounds super pretentious, but hey, what are you going to do? If you don't like this, that's okay. Just know that you will one day. If you're in new beer, truly into beer, outside of just the line waiting, having fun, kind of secondary market, haze bro, new money game. If you really are into beer, you'll eventually love this beer. I mean, that's the grand scheme of things. Is that this is a great beer no matter who you are. Even if you don't like it, you don't know it yet. But it's a great beer. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a beautiful, well-made beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.